freedom fighters, coming at you from the wee early morning hours of Monday the 4th, right before the election day. And can you guess what the topic is going to be? We got the election coming tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow. It's only a day away. And now that we got that out of our system. But, yeah, man, we're going to be talking about the election, all the stuff that could possibly go down. And basically, you just need to get ready, right? You need to get ready for it. And I know this is kind of a last, final warning of you need to get ready. And then if you're new to this channel or this kind of video and you're like, man, what do I do to get ready? I did a few videos back called Preparedness 101. I mean, just check that out. But again, like if you don't know that you need like water and food, then, your room temperature IQ, I mean, that's even lower than room temperature IQ. You're basically non-human. So start there, with the bare necessities. And if you use it in your everyday life, get some more of it. Whatever you like to eat, dry goods are better though. Rice, pasta, all that. Get Band-Aids, toothbrushes, soap, bare essentials, necessities. But anyway, that's where you need to be going, getting ready for that. And it's like, if you don't know this stuff by now, I mean, it's like, come on, people. We are at the end game here. We got to step it up. But, when all these hurricanes were hitting and all that, I think it was Hurricane Helene, and there was a tweet by Mike the Health Ranger. And I remember he said something about like, why aren't, they weren't prepared. And why, like, and these were rural, communities. And he's like, why aren't you prepared for this? And I mean, there's to an extent, you can't prepare for your house getting swept away or, God forbid, like your child drowning. That's not something you can really prepare for. But, I get the sentiment of what he was talking about in general. But, it's like, and people forget or people overestimate, like, they think, all the people out in the, rural communities and, all the conservative folk out in Red America are all prepared and awake and they know what's going on. Man, let me tell you, it's a lot less than you would think. When I talk to some of these people, I'm not anywhere, like I'm in suburbs, but, I got friends out there in the country, and I know some people that are really out in the boonies. And when I go out and visit them and I talk to the neighbors or something like that, maybe we go planking or something like that. You don't know how often I hear like, oh man, this is my, last box of ammo, or I'm going through, whatever, I got to get my, whatever. Their supplies are dwindled. They don't have them. Like, man, you got to, stock up, and they have no clue. And I'm just like, it really surprised me. But that, that whole thing, kind of woke me up to it with hurricanes and all that. Like, your normal Americans, even people who, are voting red or whatnot, it's still the same thing, man. They're still kind of clueless to what's going on. And people in general need to wake up to it. And women as a whole have actually woken up a lot. They did a poll after COVID that, a lot of, like, especially like housewives and stuff realized, like, when stuff, toilet paper went out, baby food, I think it was milk, baby milk went into shortage, diapers, all this stuff. And that really woke up a lot of mothers that were like, all this stuff isn't guaranteed, right? The necessities of life are modern day life amenities and things we take for granted are not guaranteed. And we need to get ready for that, man, because when this election hits, it's going to be much, much worse. And as the saying goes, it's going to get worse before it gets worse. Because, well, I don't see no getting better in the future. There's no positive end to this story, right? There's no rainbows and butterflies. And, I know a lot of people don't even listen to it, but if you're here listening to this message, you're probably going to get something out of it. But, my family doesn't listen to me, and I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat. They don't hear what you're saying. I got friends and, like I said, family that, they don't want to hear nothing about this. And a lot of them are in a way better position than I am to, take care of what you need to do. I mean, I am a straight up poor. And, like I said, I put most of my resources to preparedness and stuff like that. But, I know people in my family who were, like I did a video before, it's like, it was called the smartest, or the dumbest smart person I know or something like that. But I know I have doctors in my family, people with college degrees, PhDs. I have people who are, pretty well off. And if I had that budget, I'd have all this stuff. Man, my arsenal would look like frickin', I'd have a bunkered safe room, John Wick style, gun room or something. But at the very least, a full pantry packed with, all the essentials. And they just don't do it. And they fully have the funds and are capable of doing it, but they don't see it coming. And you'd be surprised how many people you think like, oh, those folks would be prepared, and they're not. And the government is going to play off of that. We've talked about order out of chaos, and all that. They want the chaos. They want all the stuff to unfold. So you come looking for them for help. But of course there won't be any. It's just going to be chaos. But, that's pretty much what it is. And I said all along, the plan is, to make rural and red state Americans suffer. And, that's what the whole, hurricane plans are. I guarantee you they displace all these people, change, local community elections, if not statewide elections. They might fill it up with a bunch of illegals and actually flip states. So, expect that. Yeah, but, back onto the election, I mean, either way, we're screwed. I've said it before. My prediction, is Kamala's going to be the victor here. But I'm changing that a little bit. I don't know if you paid attention to my recent community post, but, I've been hearing some things where it might look like Trump might have this in the bag. I'm not sure, man. That's all, hearsay, what I heard from a friend of a friend. And nobody knows, right? We're going to find out tomorrow, or who knows? It might take a couple days to figure this thing out, and then you're really going to see chaos. And if there's reports, there's already reports of voting machines not working, switching votes. They found a drop-off ballot place caught on fire or something. People reported finding ballots in the street. So they're already setting the stage for chaos. And then the most dangerous part of it is after they announce the results, someone's one half is going to get riled up and neither half is going to be happy. And then it's going to be the point to January 6th, to the actual inauguration. And, until then, who knows what they're going to pull off, depending on the results, depending on, what goes down, period. You're hearing a lot about, Civil War, all this stuff going on, reports that they're, of course they're putting the fences back up. People reports that they're seeing military vehicles in New York all the way down to DC, all kinds of stuff. So, and again, if Kamala gets in, what's going to happen? Because, the Patriots, they don't do anything but vote real hard, and then when they lose, they get upset and they write them a congressman, they write a mean worded letter or tweet, and then, they might protest a little bit, wave their flags, wave their sign, a don't tread on me, all while being treaded on, you know. But, Tate put out a good video a few weeks back on X, and I think it was called, like, voting or something, but he was like, I forget exactly how he worded it, but he's like, these people who locked you up, perpetuated the scam, closed your businesses, masked your children, take away your rights, all this stuff, just got away with it. And that was actually the title. They got away with it. And he's like, what are you going to do? Just vote? Like, that's your proposed thing, is you're going to vote for it. What happened to the American spirit? And, one of my favorite memes I posted a while back, too, if you pay attention to my Twitter, my True Social, whatnot, it's a picture of a green tip. And it says, our founding fathers didn't vote. They didn't protest the king or the British. They didn't write their congressman. They didn't ask permission. They didn't storm any capitals or anything. They shot them. When the tyranny, when they were faced with the oppression and the rule, they put it to work. And that's what they built the country upon. And literally the building blocks were, the freedom of speech to call out the tyranny, and the next action was the tool to take care of the tyranny. And nobody's coming to save you, except for Jesus, which has always been the message on the channel. None of these politicians are going to save you. And in the Bible, I mean, I'm not even any like biblical scholar, so I'm not even going to, come out there and say anything of that. But is there even voting in the Bible? Does the Bible ever mention a democracy? The Constitution sure doesn't. The Founding Fathers sure didn't. That's the other thing. They're always talking about, democracy 2024. Democracy's on the ballot. Democracy. We don't have a democracy. I don't give a damn about the democracy. But yeah, man. So, I mean, that's pretty much what happens if Kamala wins. The Patriots will wave their signs and blah, blah, blah. And all you can expect for the next 4 years will be complaining. And, they'll be, they ended free speech. And, they started up that Ministry of Truth or whatever. The Mary Poppins lady, which was literally Pravda. I mean, it was, what's that shit, man? But yeah, I mean, it was literally state-run propaganda branch of government. Man, what's that shit I'm thinking of? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't even think of it. But yeah, I mean, we already have it. I mean, we have PBS and like NPR. But I mean, they were trying to like really make a government branch, but and then they'll say, they're banning my second. Well, they've already done it in so many states, so many places around the country. There's 20,000 laws on the books. It's freaking crazy. They say, they're banning this and my magazines and my stock or whatever the next thing is. The border's wide open. 10 million more invaders are coming through. Oh my God, they're taking over apartment buildings. They're eating the cats. Quick, enter promo code PATRIOT to get 20% off of my food pack. Enter code PATRIOT to get 10% off of this bulk ammo order. That you're never going to use. That the Patriots never use. But, on the other hand, if Trump wins, the left will absolutely burn down they'll burn the country down to the ground. The question is, will you respond? Probably not. But remember, if you do, you'll be the ones who will be prosecuted. You'll find out that thin blue line that you back doesn't back you. Remember the BLM riots, the McCluskeys, etc. All this stuff. They don't back you. They don't care. They will follow every order that is put forth in front of them. And either way, it's going down, man. And then there's, and either way, there's going to be war. I know everyone's saying Trump is like the anti-war candidate because there was no wars when he was in. But now he's pretty much talking about, wiping Iran off the map, which is a proxy war with Russia. So the Democrats go at it differently. They go through Ukraine and attack Russia. Trump's plan, or the Republican plan, is to go after Iran through Russia. And then, China's laying low, and they're in it to win it. I said it in that previous video. China wins World War III, but they're laying low, even though Xi said, prepare for war. So he's just sitting back waiting, and on the cusp of World War III. So either way, Trump or Harris, you get that larger conflict because both parties are in bed. Both parties are part of the military industrial complex. So it doesn't matter either way, it's going down. All you and I can do for it is get ready. And, whether or not you think you're going to vote your way out of it, you kind of know my opinion on it. But, I said in one of my last videos about, I'm not sure what I was going to do. Well, I think I made up my mind. But, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I think about it. But, yeah, because, one side of my audience is going to be like, oh, if you vote, oh, no, don't vote. The other half is going to be, if I say I'm not voting, it's, oh, no, you got to vote. And my position is just do what you feel like you have to do. And I'm not going to tell anybody either way. I'm not going to tell you go vote. I'm not going to be like, you have to go vote because so-and-so's going to save us. Because from what I've seen, neither are saving us. Do I have a favorable option? Do I believe one will be a little better? Sure. But none of them are going to make the change that, has to come. I believe we have to have that, civil war or revolutionary war to get this constitutional republic back, in order. And we don't want that, and like Kaz said in one of those previous videos where he was like, I like running water. I like hot showers. I like electricity. And that was kind of the point I was trying to get to in that my previous video of ripping off the Band-Aid. I listened back to that video and I was like, I never really got to the point, which I'm kind of doing right now, just rambling on that. That's what I am, man. I'm a rambling man. But, yeah, I was trying to get to the point where it's like, we know we all have to, it's either rip the Band-Aid off or just keep dealing with it. Keep living under the tyranny and all that. And I guess the electricity, the sports ball, and the free-flowing beer and bread and circuses is the cost. We seem to accept the cost of our freedom is all those, extra things, because we don't seem to want to put up the fight. I understand the fight's going to be bad, and that's also what the video was about, was people don't understand how brutal it's going to get and how bad it's going to be. So people don't want to tear off that Band-Aid. But yeah, man, I'm guessing that's I rambled on long enough about this, but we'll all see in the next coming days, and probably got a lot of topics to touch on and videos to do after this thing. I'll see y'all then, and until the next one, you know what it is, man. We are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us, so get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.